Welcome to lifeisonedayataTime.com. I'm Minister Chestnut. Thank you for joining me again on another faithful Friday. Another day of life to live in His riches and glory. Hey, we continue. Last week, we started out with self-examination. Every now and then, we need to stop.
So be there every week, because Jesus is our rock.
Every now and then, we need to stop. Take a look, see where we are, where we're going. Check and see if we're on the right path. And if we are, full steam straight ahead. Yeah. Non-stop and commercial-free gospel. We continue with Life is One Day at a Time, and today we're going to talk about accountability. Today we're going to talk about accountability. Now, accountability is a fundamental concept that shapes our actions, our relationships, both in life and in love. It refers to the responsibility one takes for one's own actions, decisions, and consequences. Understanding accountability becomes even more crucial as it affects not only personal growth, but also professional growth. In life, accountability plays a pivotal role in achieving personal goals and maintaining a sense of integrity. It involves being honest with oneself about one's strengths and weaknesses, acknowledging mistakes and learning from them, and taking ownership of the outcomes. By being accountable for our actions, we become self-aware individuals who are committed on personal growth. For instance, where academic pressures are high, being accountable ensures that students maximize their potential. Completing assignments on time or preparing thoroughly for exams not only reflects discipline, but also demonstrates accountability towards oneself and the pursuit of knowledge. Moreover, accountability is equally important within personal relationships, particularly in the realm of love. Now, let's hold it right there for a minute. We know that God is love. And when He started out in the beginning, and Adam and Eve, when they were in the garden, He told them, I'm paraphrasing, He told them not to eat from the tree that was in the middle of the garden. Then Satan came along and beguiled Eve and partook of the tree that was in the middle of the garden. And we know who that was. That was Satan. So when God confronted him about it, we're talking about accountability. When God confronted them about it, first Adam, he said, the woman whom thou gavest me to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I did eat. He didn't take responsibility. So then he confronted Eve, and what did she say? Eve said, The devil made me do it. Actually, that's paraphrasing, but she said, the serpent beguiled me and I did eat. Now, when she was beguiled, that's a Greek word from expatio, which means wholly seduced. Yes, Adam and Eve was wholly seduced in the Garden of Eden. Cain was Satan's child, and Abel was Adam's child, because it states very clearly that when they were born that she continued in birth, and she had two boys. One was Satan and one was Adam's. But they didn't take accountability. We're talking about accountability. They didn't take responsibility for their actions, and they got kicked out of the garden. Hey, and life's been rough ever since. But being accountable and love means openly communicating one's needs while respecting those of their partner. It involves actively listening without judgment or defensiveness, and by doing so, we create an environment where each person feels valued and heard, which strengthens emotional bonds. In addition to individual responsibilities within relationships, become shared accountability too. Working together towards common goals such as financial stability or building a family requires mutual trust, along with open lines of communication, ensuring transparency while holding each other responsible throughout these endeavors. Because it's a group thing when you're trying to make a family. Everybody has responsibilities, and you have to be accountable. And if everybody's accountable for their actions, hey, we have a good bond, we have good trust, we have good interrelationship, and hey, things will be fine. But remember, life is not a smooth road. We have bumps, we have dips, we have curves, we have uphills and we have downhills. So we just have to be girded up, stay in love, and take responsible for our own actions. It's called accountability. Now, accountability extends beyond ourselves into society at large, recognizing systematic issues such as inequality helps us to understand our role individually and collectively, shaping society through advocacy and supporting policies fostering justice and fairness, which is vitally, it's needed when dealing with people from diverse backgrounds in a globalized world. In conclusion, accountability is an essential part of life and love. It becomes even more significant as one strives for personal and professional growth, whether it's taking responsibility for one's actions or being accountable in personal relationships. This concept helps shape individuals into self-aware and responsible beings. By embracing accountability, we create a foundation for personal success, harmonious relationships, and a more just society at all. Accountability. Let's take another episode for being accountable. There was I'm paraphrasing. There was a guy. He had a lots of land, lots of money. He took a vacation. And so before he left, he gave his stewards, he gave one 10 talents, he gave one 5 talents, and he gave one 2 talents. I'm paraphrasing. So he took his trip. So when he came back, the first one he gave 10 talents to, he put it to work, and he had 20 talents. And the boss, he said, "Good, faithful servant, well done." The one he gave 5 talents, he turned it around and made 10 talents. And the boss said, "Good and faithful servant, good job." Then the one he gave 2 talents, he went and hid it, didn't make no money. And he gave it back to him, saying that I knew you was a hard man, where you reap where you did not sow, and you sowed where you did not reap. Hey, the boss told him, you wicked servant. He took the 2 talents from him and gave it to the one who had 10 talents. Being accountable. And God is going to hold us accountable for what we do. I mean, if you have a good word, you need to share it. If you have a warning, like the Antichrist comes before Jesus comes back, that's a warning. A lot of people is going to be misled when the Antichrist comes back. But I'm letting you know right now that the Antichrist comes before Jesus comes back. Jesus comes back at the 7th trump, and the Antichrist comes at the 6th trump. Do the math. Hey, I did my part. So God, holding me accountable for what I know, for what I'm sharing, and what I'm doing. Hey, he holds us accountable for everything. So just be on guard, stay in love, stay prayed up, wake up, keep the faith, and go to sleep. Hey, I'm out of time. I'm Minister Chestnut. We'll see you next week as we continue on another episode of Life is One Day at a Time.com.
So be there every week, because Jesus is our rock.